Welcome to another edition of What's Going On in Lindsborg, brought to you by the Dala Action News Network. We're here with Dala Action News team members, son of Sven Svensonson and Anders Sunnydays, to tell you what's going to be happening on this evening's broadcast. We're going to hear from our volunteer spotlight about Karmon and Marianne Almquist and Duane Fredrickson. We'll also hear from local Lindsborg organist Tayla Brenneman, a jewelry display by Small World Gallery's Brianna Zimmerling. We'll also take you to the Old Mill, as Millfest would have come up this weekend. And we have very exciting news from the White Peacock. The Dala Action News team has held up very well, staying professional at home, and they've managed their supplies of Lysol, toilet paper, and other assorted items. From all of us at the Dala Action News team, enjoy the rest of the show.
I'm here today with Karmon and Marianne Almquist, who are members of the Lindsborg community that do a lot of volunteer things. But first, tell us, Karmon and Marianne, tell us your story of Lindsborg. How did you first come to Lindsborg?
Well, I grew up near this area, so this is close to home, although we lived in Kansas City and St. Louis during our working career, but our families still had some farms in the area, so after retiring we decided to come back to this area. And actually one of our sons anticipates moving back here later this year. He's been in the military for many years.
That's great. Well, we're dealing with a little bit of background noise because we are at the Lindsborg Post Office here on Lincoln Street, across from Dollar General and other businesses. And right behind Karmon and Marianne, you can see these beautiful flowers. So tell us how you became involved in taking care of this.
Well, we noticed that one summer there were a lot of weeds there, and we asked the post office if we could plant flowers instead of just having weeds. And they agreed, and so the first couple of years we bought them, but now the post office is gracious enough to buy the flowers. We plant them, we weed them, we water them, and if we have to be gone, we get babysitters for the flowers because they are a nice addition to this community. And it's sort of when we have Lindsborg in bloom, which we can't have this year, but we do, and it's a lot of fun. We have to have Lindsborg in bloom.
In other words, we have to have the blooms for that to happen.
We have to have the blooms. We have to have the blooms for that.
This post office has a big flower box in front of it, and so it needs flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. So it's kind of a fun thing, and I think people appreciate it. They like to walk in and smell the flowers and see the flowers.
We always buy some, but there are some annuals that reseed themselves that will come up later in this summer, and they will also they get actually a lot bigger than the ones we purchased for the early part of the year.
Yeah, in July they'll be really big and abundant, and the original flowers came from one of our family farms, and we dug them up and started planting them here, and they've taken off, and so that's kind of fun.
Well, Karmon and Marianne, we are very thankful for your presence in Lindsborg and for all that you do. We know you do many more activities and have more volunteer efforts than this. So we thank you for all that you have done. Do you have any advice for those who might want to volunteer?
Well, I would just say that this is a community of volunteers, and we don't do near what some people do, and it's fun. It's a wonderful way to meet people. And when we first moved here, boy, someone told us, just volunteer and you'll find a lot of new friends, and it worked.
All right.
Yeah, this weekend would have been the big Mill Fest, which one of the things that I've done for, I think, 17 or 18 years is volunteer down there for the Millfest weekend, as well as sometimes the staff down there, if they have a big group coming in, they ask me to come down and lead tours of the old mill, which is quite an interesting thing as well. It's been here 120 years. So,
Yes, and you've helped with the lights on the bridge.
yeah, I've done that also for quite a few years. We originally there was a couple of ladies put them up, and then they decided it was too much work. So
Yeah.
I ended up kind of being in charge of it, and have done that for many years as well.
And many people may not realize that Karmon is the one who, for so many years, has helped us hoist the cross in Presser Hall
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah,
Messiah.
Messiah week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We actually built that one years
Yeah.
ago, and tried to make it look kind of rough.
Rugged.
you
Yeah.
know, so,
well, many thanks to you from the community of Lindsborg.
yeah.
Well, it's a great place to be. Come visit, come stay. It's wonderful.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
We're here today with Dr. Duane Fredrickson, a member of the Lindsborg community for many years. Dr. Fredrickson, when did you and your family first come to Lindsborg?
We came in 1969. I came out of the United States Air Force, where I was a medical corps doctor, and I came to practice here in Lindsborg in 1969 with my wife and two small children, 2 and 1.
And so you practiced medicine in Lindsborg for how long before you retired?
I practiced for 40 years and retired in 2009.
Wow, 40 years. And I should say that you were my doctor during that time.
Yes,
So-
you were.
Yeah, exactly. We were just trying to figure out whether or not you delivered me or if that was Dr. Fuller.
Well, we think Dr. Fuller did it,
Right.
I think. I don't remember.
So you do a lot of volunteer work, especially now in retirement. What are some of the various volunteer efforts that you have put forth in Lindsborg?
Well, before I retired, I was very active in the Smoky Valley Historical Association, and that involved us taking back the Coronado Heights Park in 1987, and I've been maintaining and working on that every week, usually one morning a week, to clean and take care of the maintenance. And I've also been very active in Swedish folk dancing since we came, and I am the director of the Lindsborg Folk Dance Law. But since that time, when I retired, I've gone more full-time giving out, doing volunteer work and helping others. And I think doing that is the best thing to do to keep your life happy, is to serve others. And so I've added master gardening. I take care of 2 gardens here, the Raymer Society, and help with the San Zane Gallery. I'm also on the Scenic Byway Committee, working with the towns of Ellsworth, Lindsborg, and Canton, Galva, to encourage people to come here. And one of the jobs I do there is take care of Ferris Caves, maintenance at the Canopus Lake. We also, I have church work. I've been on archives, and I'm on tackle board, and I've been on social committee. I've been on the city tree board now, and I'm also on the sister city committee.
So you're not retired at all?
No.
No, in fact, you seem that's got to be more than 40 hours a week of work.
Well, I guess it could be, yeah, but not now.
Yeah.
Right now with the pandemic.
So tell us a little more about the Coronado Heights efforts. What all does that involve, and have there been any major improvements or major decisions made since you've been working with that group?
Well, the first big major improvement was starting it in 1915, about that time, and then back in 36, they did their major road work and built the castle and picnic areas. Since that time, about last year, we've done other improvements. We did work on the castle, putting in new beams and a new top, and we constantly work on the roads, and we have problems of erosion, and the hill has shifted twice in the time that I've been with it. Recently, last year, it shifted and covered the roads, and we're still working with that, restoring that, but the hillside is unstable, and probably we'll do it again when we have a heavy rains.
Right, and so with all this volunteer work, what advice would you give someone in Lindsborg who would like to become involved some way in the community?
Well, find out what your passion is and what you really enjoy doing, whether it's history or if it's the Swedish culture and heritage, or if it's folk dancing, but find out what your passion is and then get involved. There's plenty of places to do that. And if you just want to do service work like Meals on Wheels and things like that, just inquire and get involved with doing that.
Dr. Fredrickson, on behalf of the people of Lindsborg for nearly half a century, well, really, at least a half a century, I want to thank you for your involvement and for your efforts to better Lindsborg.
Thank you.
Before our next presentation, we take you to the weather desk with Sunnydays for the Stay-at-Home Fjordcast. At the Dala Action News Studios, it is sunny and 73.
We're here with Tyler Brenneman, currently the organist at Messiah Lutheran Church in Lindsborg, Kansas. Tyler, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in organ.
I started playing the organ a little after 2000. The organ at my home church in Lincoln, Kansas was expanded from 4 ranks of pipes to 16, and my piano teacher happened to be the church organist, and I kind of just got gently pushed into it and just never stopped.
That's great. And then you attended Bethany and got a degree from Bethany, and are currently a collaborative pianist at Smoky Valley High School, as well as seems like a dozen other jobs in the Lindsborg area. Tell us about this hymn series that you've been doing while everyone is in quarantine.
I had seen a post on Facebook when this whole quarantine thing started of one of my friends recording a few hymns for a couple of their friends, and I got the idea, what if we turn this into a small series, just taking people's requests online, and it turned into about 50 different requests. So I have enough videos to go through, I think, the end of May right now.
Wow. Well, we thank you for talking with us, but I think what we really would like is to hear you play. Is there something you could play as we leave here today?
Yeah, just a sec.
in downtown Lindsborg, Kansas. And because our doors are still not open with the stay-at-home order, I wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing to stay connected with you and our friends while we can't be together in person. So I've been busy back at my metalsmith bench making jewelry, because one of the things we do here in Small World is make handmade jewelry. My bench is chaos right now, so I'm glad you can't see it. But some of the things I've been working on have been little cat earrings. These are front and back cats. And coneflower earrings, because we love gardening. And so we're putting those on our first Ibis Woman Jewelry live sale on Facebook this evening, which is Tuesday. But hopefully you'll be able to catch more live sales, as this goes on until we can see you all in person, and continuing after we are able to open our doors. So to share a little bit about what I use to make these things, earrings, pendants, and setting cabochons like these, start with sheet metal that I texture in a rolling mill.
I do a lot of hand sawing of shapes and figures with this handy tool. Break a lot of blades. My saws lasted 6 years. First saw I got, still have it. And then I use a nice little torch. Gets enough heat to do my small items, and it's handy for me. So you can visit us on our website at www.smallworldgallery.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We have a newsletter we have been working really hard to be consistent on. Right now doing weekly newsletters with earring specials, card specials from Jim, and sharing some stories that Jim's mother wrote about her time during the Depression. So, you like us, follow us, send us a message if there's anything we can do for you until we're able to see you here in person again. All right, thank you.
Another update from the Dala Action News Weather Desk with our weatherman and Sunnydays. We'll get to our next video shortly, but there has been a rain shower that has moved into our area. Temperature, still 73.
Typically, this is the weekend we celebrate Millfest in Lindsborg, but as this was not possible this year, the McPherson County Old Mill Museum is making the most of this downtime, with museum staff disassembling, servicing, and reassembling the inner workings of the old mill. This is a huge job that takes special skills. This working roller mill fires up only one time each year during Millfest. Even though we're sad that this event had to be canceled this year due to COVID-19 orders, we do look forward to next year. We hope you'll mark your calendar and plan to take a tour of the mill and enjoy the festivities that focus on early life on the Kansas prairie.
Really, you have to pretty much stop the drain fluid before you can shut off the mill, or else our gravity feed on second. If you notice, these here are slanted, and that's to help as you see the movement of it. What it's doing is it's going round and around and it's helping that go down.
This weather bulletin from the weather desk at the Dala Action News team. A cold front is moving into the area. More details to come later, as we know that our weatherman Sunnydays is on top of it.
Okay. Hey everybody, this is Tayla here with Rita Suppes. We just wanted to check in and make sure everybody's happy and healthy and staying safe, either at home or doing whatever it is they need to do. We just wanted to announce as well some exciting news for the White Peacock. We are now in the process of transferring ownership to Miss Rita here. We are very excited. It's something that we've talked about for a few months, and it finally came to fruition.
Yeah. Excited.
Yes. So we are slowly working through that process. We hope to finalize by beginning of June. And Rita is just full of ideas and already making the Peacock a better place.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's a great place to begin with. So fun.
Okay. And then do you want to say anything while we're together? Or... Sorry, Holly.
Yeah, sorry, Holly. Just the Peacock is so much fun. Tayla's done a wonderful job with it. I just look forward to getting in and seeing you all my friends here as my customers now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, stay tuned.
Thank you for joining the Dala Action News Team Quarantined Edition for another episode of What's Going On in Lindsborg. Stay tuned for more action-packed videos to come. To everyone out there, stay classy from the fjord.